Hi everyone, it's Shari Carroll here for SimonsSaysStamp.com with a card idea using some really beautiful KaiserCraft products. I'll be using a couple of the papers from the On This Day paper pad, and these are 6.5-inch square papers, and I'll go ahead and flip through this. You can see the foil type and other pastel type papers in here. Really gorgeous set, and I'll be creating my card for my niece for her wedding this coming weekend. I'm also using the Life Sentiment stamp set, which has a really nice greeting that I want to put on the inside of my card. And sorry, my light just flipped off. I don't know why it does that. So this is a really nice set for all year round, not just for weddings. I'm also using the On This Day die cut shapes. There are so many things in this pack, I had a hard time deciding which ones to start with. So I'm using a top folding card, which I've created from some Nina. And I've also cut a couple strips of the paper, which I'll just go ahead and adhere down using my tape runner. I'm going to start making my arrangement, and I have this Polaroid photo frame, but you could also use the Lawn Fawn die cut to create your own. And I've picked a flower and I've already adhered it to the frame. And next I'm going to be using the Tim Holtz linen ribbon, one of my favorite ribbons. I have cut it at an angle and have pulled the edges apart so it kind of looks like it's frayed. And I'm just going to go ahead and use a little bit of glossy accents and set this down right onto this rose spray here, and this will just end up peeking out from behind the rest of the arrangement. I'm adding this mainly for a little bit of texture, plus the colors go really well with the rest of the pieces that I'm using. I've started on the second portion of the arrangement, and I've put together some pieces like a frame, a message, a couple of the loose roses, and also a swallow at the top, and I've used my foam tape a little bit to lift those up. I'll go ahead and show you that. So this will look really nice once it's layered on top of the other portion of the frame. And you can see it's already creating that romantic look. So this is how this will sit together. And I do have a few foam pieces on the back that I'll go ahead and press these down to help them stay together. But on this little frame area, I'm going to go ahead and add some tape runner so that will sit flat on the frame, since it kind of sits behind, and I'll go ahead and angle that to where my message sits correctly horizontally. And once I'm happy with my arrangement, I'll go ahead and pull up the rest of the foam square backings and put that together. So now I want to add a little bit more interest to the bottom. So here I have a little scallop edge piece that was also in the die cut set, and I've cut this a little bit longer than that backing frame. And I'll go ahead and press that down. And then there's this row of butterflies, and this was actually in the paper pack in some of those little die cut areas that are in the back of the paper pack. So again, I'll add a little bit of adhesive and I'll layer this kind of over that little frame and under the stem of those flowers. And to add a little bit of interest, I'll be using my tiny attacher just to secure some of the end pieces. And I'll go ahead and angle these at different angles so they don't look so perfect. The next step was to add some twine, and I've wrapped that around this whole frame twice, and I've secured it with a bow on top. And I do like to secure the knots of my bows with a little bit of glossy accent, so I'll go ahead and just put that in the center, and I'll press that down once I'm done. But I do also like to secure that knot just a little bit, and I tap it with my finger so it's not so glossy. And once I have that all set up, I'll go ahead and just press it down and let that hold for a second. And now that my arrangement is done, it's time to mount this to the card. I do have a couple of the foam squares here already, but I want to add a couple more. I don't need a whole lot, just enough to hold it on. I've also put some tape runner around the outside of that frame, since that will sit flush onto the card. So I'll peel off the backs of my foam squares, and now I can flip this over and put it onto my card. Since this is a wedding card, I do want to make it the most I can, so I'm going to put together a little arrangement on the inside. So to start off, I like to just kind of dry fit everything, and then once I'm ready, I can go ahead and use my tape runner and secure that down. I do first want to stamp my message, and that says, "Live well, laugh often, and love much." And so this will be stamped right onto my little tag using the dark chocolate Simon Says Stamp ink. To make sure that stamps well, I'll go ahead and pull the tag away from the arrangement, so I'll put it on my flat surface here. I've already seasoned my stamp and tested it out on scrap paper, so I don't need to do that again, but I want to make sure I get lots of ink on there, and I'll just line this up kind of to the right side. Once I'm ready, I'll go ahead and press that down. And once I have that stamped, I can go ahead and get ready to secure everything down, and I'll just use my regular tape runner. I don't want any foam adhesive on this. I do want everything on the inside to sit flat. So just start to repiece back the arrangement that you once had. Sometimes it's really helpful if you snap a picture of your arrangement with your cell phone or tablet, and then you can recreate your arrangement once you've taken it apart to put the adhesive back on. So here's another look at my finished card. I hope you've enjoyed my KaiserCraft die cut tutorial. Thanks for watching.